Morning, everybody. Welcome to this in the morning. 15 minutes to change our lives. We're in the middle of the third parak. So yeah, we're going to finish it off with Hashem today. So basically, we're discussing how there's different levels. As we said, a quick summary, we said in the first parak, the first parak, that there's, shtus, and shtus is turning, and it means also the folly, and really comes together. Yetzer he makes you turn away from the path of truth, and then he comes and he's mekatru. That's the worst part. He comes gets us, and the Yetzer Hara comes and tells us, "Hey, look at you. You're not good enough. Look what you did yesterday." But if we analyze it, we realize, but yesterday the Yetzer Hara was one who told me to do this. And then we said there's different levels of tainug. There's a low level, and I was second parak. Lowest level of tainug is like tainug in food, just dvarim gashma and physical things. I'm not talking about physical things for learning and connecting and helping us, just for the physicality's sake, just because it tastes good, just because it feels good. And then that's the lowest level. Then there is a level of like music that's uplifting and connecting. And we know when we listen to music, it's spiritual. It's more spiritual, not physical. And then above that is midas, like good character and doing good things. For example, you give it like Avram, giving Avos Yisrael. But he says you also have to be careful that it could be done like, so to speak, the first level, which is just for your own pleasure. And the example, like for example, of being kind, sometimes you can be it's kind, but you're not actually being kind. Whereas giving someone that something that's detrimental to them, you want to be kind. And the real way to do it is with seichel. And ultimately, the lesson we're learning here is we got to figure out where do we connect with most, and how can we elevate it to a little bit of a high level. And then we started in the third chapter discussing the highest level, which is intellect. Not just any intellect, learning about Torah and connecting to Hashem's will and wisdom. And we said that's something that's like shaykh to us. And ultimately, we started talking yesterday, like in the end, was that how do we reach a level above us? That's the goal. The goal is to become above us. So for an inanimate object, it's, so what's above it? For a plant, it's that an animal eats it. For an animal, it's that we consume it. Now, of course, it doesn't mean we consume it for just but it means we say, yeah, what's going to make me have a healthier day if I eat this piece of meat or something like that. And that's sort of how we're meant to connect. And for us, it's about learning Torah and connecting to the spirituality. And that's what we're in the middle of. Page 37, whoever has the blue Kahas English translation one. And with this, you elevate your soul. That we become included and involved within Hashem's Chachma. Hey, basic Hanigla, the Torah, whether it's learning Nigla, Halacha, Gemara, things like this, Mishnayos. Shehim Mahus Chachmasa, this is the essence of Hashem's wisdom and will. Shekach Chiva Chachmasa Yisbarach, that this is what Hashem made Chayiv, made I don't know how to translate Chayiv. Like obligated. Chachmasa Yisbarach Shezeh Kasher, V'zeh Pasal. This is kosher and this is possible. So when you learn that, you're connecting with Hashem's Chachma. That's what Hashem's wisdom decided. And everything that we're going to come and be mechadish, that we're going to bring something new, you're going to learn something, you're going to make a chiddush, you're going to say, hey, how does this apply in this situation that's never applied before? And we add our novelty to the Torah. Everything was said in Moshe about Har Sinai. So this is all the halachas of Torah Shabbat and all the svaras and all the when you learn Torah, and especially in the Gemara, and all the back and forth, and everything happens. And that what we're going to do, it comes from Moshe Sinai. This is all literally Hashem's wisdom. Meaning, just because we come and figure it out, doesn't take it away from being Hashem's will and wisdom. And that's sort of the point he's saying. That call Masha Talmud Vasik Va'as L'Chadesh, whatever someone is Mechadesh, some new novelty that we come, it all comes from Hashem, meaning it's all still connected to Hashem's will and wisdom, and that's what we're connected to when we do it, and that's what we call elevating ourselves. Like we said before, when a person learns this, you become united with Hashem, and united with Hashem's will and wisdom. It's the most beautiful thing, and this is what we're achieving through learning Torah. And when we do that, this is sort of elevates us, and we got to realize, like, how do I connect with my purpose? What we're saying here, one of the ways is by elevating ourselves to a higher level, which is through learning Torah. And that's all in learning. So we talked about by Gemara, the halacha, the nigla, the revealed aspects of Torah. Now we're going to talk about the pnimis of Torah. And basic pnimis of Torah. And also we connect to Hashem and we elevate ourselves to a high level when we learn the pnimis of Torah, we learn chassidus like we're doing now. This is knowing and grasping godliness. Shema sheguli lana rabbeinu zechem levracha. Bezem hu bechinat pnimius chachmas yisbarach. That what is revealed to us by chassidus, by the rabbeim, this is the pnimius of Hashem's chachma. And therefore, when you learn pnimius chachma of Hashem, through the chassidus, you connect yourself to the pnimius, the inner, the closest, the depth of Hashem more than the chitonius, which is in simple sense, he's saying that when we learn chassidus, we connect more pnimius when we learn chassidus than when we learn nigla. Not that chas v'shalom nigla is not good; they're all amazing, but in the levels of amazing, there's amazing shabbat amazing. And furthermore, yesh ma'ila nesefes b'idiyah zu the pnimis ateiron b'pu'ulasa b'nefesh. There's another advantage of learning Torah besides the fact that it connects, that we said before, that Torah connects us with Hashem. There's another advantage that happens within us. And what is that? You probably think to yourselves, it's pretty simple. You become more refined. And he explained, and even though this is just about knowing the existence, meaning we learn chassidus, you're talking about things that you can't fully understand the same way you understand nigla. It's not physical, it's spiritual things. Nevertheless, but at least you understand the existence of the spirituality. That you feel it in your soul, and you connect to it. Meaning, when you learn chassidus, it raises you above your mundane. If you don't learn chassidus, you just learn nigla and halacha, so then you get stuck in like this physical world. Whereas learn chassidus, you're like, hey, there's more to it, and suddenly you're living a little bit higher. You have al yidei zeh hu yotzim migashmiyusay uba lemailas madregas hadakus haruchnis, and through that we go out of our physicality and our coarseness, and we become more refined, and we go to more spiritual. Meaning without chassidus you learn, but the whole world is teifus makom. It has you live in the world. When you learn chassidus, suddenly you're like, there's more to it than this. It's like an example of, let's say, bitachon. Yeah, the Shem's whole in charge. Without chassidus, bitachon means you limit Hashem to be in your world and in your world of reality, and in this physical world we also manage to find Hashem. Whereas when you learn with chassidus, you understand bitachon chassidus, like the world is just this lower level. Like there's so much greater than this. You think you see the world in a much more, like, God is not just in our physicality. Of course, in our physicality, but there's a whole world of spirituality that exists, and that's what it does. It takes you out of this, so you care less about physical things. Physical things aren't so important to you, and more you more use the physicality to help you with the spirituality. Hey, benavshay, ba'atzmos, it affects you. They become more spiritual and more connected to the spirituality and less connected to the physicality. And so to everything that you do and you deal, not just within yourself. Suddenly eating becomes a little bit less about the taste and a little bit more about the benefit of the eating. And what should I eat that's going to help me have a better day? And that's what the chassidus helps. And mafrat v'siyosav hakol hu b'chinas hadakus aruchnis bilti nitfas begeshem be'etzem or bilti nirigash atzmoyim. that when you learn that, therefore, when you learn Chassidus, also the world around us, you yourself become more refined, but the world around you becomes more refined. The way you look at the world, the way you interact with the world, it becomes a little bit more refined. And the more we do this, the better it becomes, and the easier it becomes, and the more of an effect it has. As itlech zach tut, therefore every little thing a person does, hey, basic mitzvahs on fein, learning Torah, doing mitzvahs, and all the offshoots of mitzvahs, is das edela, becomes more refined. Nit grub be'etzem, nit murgash, not grub, not kos, and not felt on blitzes without showing off. Not taking all the credit for yourself. And the fact, and we're reading it's Yiddish. If you paid attention, we're reading in Yiddish. That's the way of the Forever Shabbos, like strengthening the point. You know, it's so to speak. Imagine learning a sikha in Yiddish, and then the Rebbe puts it in English. That's like we're stressing the point. Make sure everyone understands it clear. Mikol shekei nezal nit zich zayin fardim anderen. And for sure, it's not doing just to show off someone else. Who says he doesn't? He's not doing it for anyone else, doing it for themselves. And what we're showing is that when you learn Chassidus, and you learn it, and you manage to internalize it, your whole world changes. And when you do things, it's not about other people. It's not about what people are going to say. And you see everything a lot more refined. It's less about the physicality or what I benefit from it, or how it makes, or you know, I feel so good. But it's more like you become more refined. I hope everyone has managed to experience this. But the point is, your whole world changes. Now of course, we have Yetzer Hara that's telling us, it doesn't really exist, it didn't really happen to me, I've never had that. But I think if we're honest with ourselves and we've learned Chassidus and we've tried to work on it, it has. Everyone to their level. But the fact that you'll eat something, question, should I be eating this or not? That's already had its effect. And that's what we're saying, that every little step that we do is part of this process. And what we're showing is, what the Rebbe Shab is showing us, that when you learn Chassidus, it does this. It makes it less grub. A simple grub is like, when it comes to, you got a Shabbos meal, let's say, someone else's house, so you don't have control what's being served, and you have something. So when you don't have the Chassidus, you haven't learned to, you have all these issues with the food. Do I like this one? I don't like this one. But when you're more refined with the Chassidus, you're sitting there and you say, how do I make the balabas or balabusta happy? And you eat the food and you say, thank you so much. I'm so happy. Not that you're like soft when you eat, but you care less about the taste of the food and more about, you become more refined. So you care more about the other things, more important things. And your world perspective is a little more refined. When you're in Gashmim and with physical things, move on, it's understood. But Mikasha came, move on, Mikasha came, Shenivshat, Migashmiusay, and even more so, how much you separate yourself from physicality. You not at all have a desire for physical things. You don't desire them. Your whole desire is a lakus. Now, again, we're going to say to ourselves, I don't know what you're talking about. My whole desire is only for godliness. I don't know what that is. Maybe I had that in Yom Kippur or Rosh Hashanah. So, of course, there's a lot of levels to this. But the more we learn, what we're learning is the more we learn Chassidus. Not just learn like read it, but learn it and think about it and try to internalize it and forbid with people. Really get it into us. The more we will want godliness and things connected with godliness and godliness, and the less we will want the physicality. Like the example of food or example of having conversation. When I go to have a conversation, it's less about bad-mouthing people. It's like, hey, let me make this positive. When you're eating, how do I eat something that's actually going to benefit my day versus what tastes good? The whatever it is, the kabi breakfast is tasty, but if I eat something that has more protein, it's going to be able to have serve my day better. I can daven like a mensch, or when I'm a teacher in school, I can be a better teacher. And things like this, and it applies, and this is sort of something that applies to everything. What we're saying, this comes about through the learning of Chassidus. Without learning Chassidus, we're learning the Nigla, you connect to Hashem, but you won't have this deep type of level connection in this Edelkeit. The Kitzur, Adam, this is the summary. Adam Shubal Nefesh Maskelis, person that has the intellect, he can think. and he has a godly soul. We want to work on ourselves to have the pleasure in the wisdom of Torah. That's what makes sense. It's like a person has the potential to be an Olympic swimmer. So they want to be swimming, and send them to a track and field. So with us, we want to work on ourselves because we have a nature to connect to Hashem. We want to connect with that, and that's through learning Torah. The whole purpose of every creation is to raise up to a high level. Everyone has a purpose, and the purpose is to get to a high level. Then when we learn the nigla Torah, the revealed part of Torah, we unite with Hashem's will and wisdom. And through learning Chassidus, we connect with our pnimius. We become more refined in everything. So, Mitzvah by all of us, we should work on recognizing how we've already become refined and see ways how we become more refined. Not to make us from bad to good, but to make us from good to better. Mitzvah by all of us, we should see it and we should enjoy it, and only good should happen. And the Mitzvah with all our learning should help the Matzav of Eretz Yisrael, and everyone should come home, and Messiah should come already. Have a great day.